For 1 week now, hundreds of children have had to miss school due to the ongoing flood situation that has submerged and marooned dozens of villages in Tana River County. But school is the last on a list of worries for a population that is now exposed to the risk of disease and malnutrition as food supplies remain too low at displacement camps. Sam Gituku has been in Tana River and now paints a picture of reality on the ground as the weatherman warns of more dumpy days ahead.
The aerial view of Tana River paints a neat picture of brown and green, the patchwork of dirty water, understandably, an overflow from up the stream. A keener look depicts what now is a historical site of what was the humble dwelling of hundreds of families until one night the floods evicted them, costing them every comfort they knew. And when they moved, life was never to be the same again. Exposed to the cold and wet weather, their refuge was in the hands of well-wishers that donated tents to them. Bandi Displacement Camp is the new home to at least 210 families comprising 1,064 victims, majority of them children. The victims here are lucky to have benefited from decent tents that they have used to put up what's close to their Manyata houses they knew. They have been here for the past 3 weeks, during which time the school calendar has ticked into the second term. Pupils of 2 nearby schools have nowhere to study. We are told that a nearby Imani primary school is completely cut off to the extent that its head teacher has now been temporarily transferred to a different institution. For the victims, though, feeding their families remains the biggest challenge.
Hiyo chakula kwa watoto wa 6 tulipewa kama kilo 3 hivi. Haikuwa chakula ya maana ya kutosha.
Ni mchele na unga peke yake, hakuna mafuta, hakuna kitu yoyote ametuletea.
According to Tana River County Governor Godana, so far the county has received 4,500 bags of rice and 1,000 bags of dry beans. This just a drop in an ocean of at least 64,000 persons affected by the flood situation.
Ukweli ni kwamba lile janga ambalo limetupata katika Tana ni kubwa kuliko vile msaada umepatikana.
One of the biggest challenges for the floods victims is how to access proper sanitation as well as clean water for drinking and cooking. But for the lucky few like this Bandi IDP camp, they have a water purifying system that can process at least 3,000 liters an hour. Now the plan is to have this water distributed to other camps using water bowsers so as to protect them from disease.
Minjila camp is, however, not as lucky. They have to trek for kilometers in search of the essential commodity. But they have also to pay attention to the gifts of nature. When it rains, their makeshift shelters come in handy. Water clean to the eye, but its safety in doubt. Those with canvas tents here are considered privileged. For those not yet reached, the struggle continues, playing hide and seek with the weather.
Usiku mvua ikanyesha, nikashindwa kulala hapa, nikachukua hema moja tukasimamisha mimi na watoto tukalala kule.
It is a situation that has robbed them of their dignity, the joy of privacy and a good meal. They must prepare their meals when it's dry or else risk sleeping hungry when it pours.
Kupika tunabambanya hapa nje, saa nyingine mvua ikinyesha inabidi pata unakosa mahali ya kupikia, unalala njaa wewe na watoto wako.
Minjila is one of the latest of camps, and Kenya Red Cross officials are busy registering details of the victims and their families to allow targeted humanitarian aid. For a season that threatens to get worse, displacement camps are cropping up every so often along the road. A place the victims can be safe on the risk ground and also positioning in close proximity to the much-needed assistance. But for how long? Sam Gituku, TV, Tana River County.